Okay, today is October 3rd, 2016, and we're looking at the Western Atlantic water vapor loop, and this is Hurricane Matthew, a Category 4 storm with 145 mile per hour winds. Let's go ahead and take a look at the National Hurricane Center map, and we can see that the storm is moving north at 7 miles per hour. It has a core pressure, a central pressure of 934 millibar, which equates to 13.55 pounds per square inch, which is a fairly low pressure. So this storm has strengthened since last night and this morning. So we've gone from 940 millibar, then it raised up to I think 945 millibar or something, and then now it's dropped back down again. So this is a very powerful storm. Let's go back to the. Also, we have a disturbance over here, very close by, with a 60% chance of hurricane formation in 2 days. All right, so let's go back to the big map here. We can see that some interesting things. We have this disturbance right over here, and we also have a channel of high pressure that's been installed. That will prevent any merging of these two systems. We can see the flat spot right here on that disturbance. Actually, if we stop the loop here and we just back up to the beginning, we can see that there is a flat spot right here. I'll put the envelope. We can see that it's kind of a flat right there. There's no blast pattern visible on this area either. If we go and wind through this loop, we can see the blast pattern is on the backside. So we have a lot of outflow from all this high pressure that's been installed right here. This will prevent this storm from getting too close. Now what I think they're going to do, in addition to what we're seeing here, is we're going to see another area of high pressure built in right over on this side of the storm, and that will guide it out into the Atlantic once it passes by Cuba and Haiti. This looks like it's going to make a direct hit right here into Cuba. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Let's roll this thing, and we can also see the core of this was split in half yesterday, and we can see this area here is drifted off to the east. This is also being targeted by microwave. We'll take a look at that right now in the some of these other maps. We have a deep red. We have an eye wall. This is a very solid red all the way throughout the entire center of that storm. And we see a blast pattern, but the blast pattern indicates only that the storm is being targeted with microwave. But the fact is that it is an insufficient amount of microwave. I keep referring always back to Hurricane Patricia, which was over here on the west coast last August 2015, over 200 mile per hour winds. And once that storm hit mainland Mexico, they blew it apart immediately, and there was nowhere near the damage you would expect from a storm that had 200 mile per hour winds. And so this storm is being hit, of course, but not with any kind of sufficient power to break it apart. So the point is that the sociopathic weather controllers are not destroying this storm. They're going to run this right through Cuba and Haiti, and then once it gets up near the United States, they will blow it apart. They'll wind it down and or steer it off into the Atlantic. We've got high pressure installed over here. We can see that. And so they will do the same thing over here and channel the storm right out, probably right out in the Atlantic. That's what I think is going to happen. We have a 4,000-day record of no direct hits from a major hurricane in the United States for something like 11 years now. Here's the visible light map. We can see all the photoshopping, and that is just hiding the minimal microwave attacks that are hitting the storm. Like I said, if they wanted to kill this thing off, they could. We've seen all the hurricanes in the Pacific this year, going back to Agatha, Blas, Celia, Darby, Estelle, Georgette, Howard, Javier, Madeline, Lester, which was a Category 4 storm briefly. Then we had Newton, Hurricane Newton, I believe it was, and then we had Orlean, Payne and Roslyn. All these storms were blown apart, and you can watch these videos that I make every day and watch this unfold. So every one of these Pacific storms in the East Pacific were blown apart and steered around Hawaii. They were superheated with microwave to weaken them as they neared the Hawaiian Islands. All this is documented. All right, so we've seen these maps. We see the eye wall here. In most of the shots, each one of these frames is a one half hour snapshot. It's every half hour they take a snapshot, and that's what we're seeing here. And we do see that eye wall in most of these frames. Okay, so here's another shot of the, this is the Northwest Atlantic water vapor loop. We can see the flat spot on this disturbance here in a blast pattern, so they are targeting this as well. And we have the northbound movement. We have a pattern, a flow pattern here that's moving out to the northeast. And so my prediction is that this will run over those islands, cause some damage, maybe kill a few people. It'll run up here and then they'll turn it and steer it out. I don't think it'll hit the U.S. We do have sociopaths controlling our weather. We can actually see the clearing right in here. But as the storm advances, we're seeing the all this weather developing in this area. All right. And as I mentioned, they can create a disaster if they want, or they can prevent it. It's all up to them, entirely up to them. Okay, here's the Northeast Pacific water vapor loop. We can see low pressure right here. We've got one right behind it passing over the Hawaiian Islands. Moisture field going right over those islands. This is moving slightly to the north and could catch the jet stream and move right into California. We have jet stream flow right here down diagonally through California. Let's take a look at that right now on the jet stream map, wherever that is. Let's see if we can find that. Right here, there's the jet stream map. And we have flow indicated right through California, almost the entire state except for LA and San Diego area and some of the desert areas out here. But we did see a lot of chemtrails today. And right now at 10:15 p.m., we have a temperature of 59 degrees in the foothills of Los Angeles. We have a relative humidity of 50% for the humidity, and we have a barometer reading of 29.95. That's gone down quite a bit. We had 30 inches exactly this morning on the barometer, and we have a dew point of 41 degrees. Mostly sunny skies, clear, except for those chemtrails over the north side of those mountains. So when anyone out on the freeways or looking north towards the mountains, you could easily see these chemtrails being sprayed north of the mountains out in the desert areas. Okay. Let's go back to these other maps here. We have the Northeast Pacific. We have opportunities for rain from right here, right behind it. We've got the jet stream. We have this low pressure system moving down. This is actually pointed to the south on the pressure map. If we go there right now, this is the surface analysis map. We can see high pressures installed here. Normally this covers a much larger area, but we have low pressure here, right here, which is moving to the south. We have an occluded front here, which is a warm front overtaking a cold front. And my guess is we won't get any rain in the southern part of the state from this. But there was some snow and rain up in Tahoe yesterday as this system right here moved through the area. This low pressure system brought some snow and rain to the High Sierra. That's good news. Southern California is still bone dry. We're not getting any rain. And the weather manipulation here, these chemtrails are stopping the rain. We're seeing a lot of chemtrails in northern and central California. And we can see some of this moisture moving through these green patches as they move through. Now watch what happens as it gets close to Southern California. It just dissipates and is completely destroyed right there. All right, let's take a look next at the, this is the western U.S. water vapor loop. We can see some of this moisture moving through. And we have this low pressure system, which is moving generally to the north, it looks like. And we have 90-degree temperatures, 92, 93-degree temperatures forecast for the San Gabriel and San Fernando valleys and the desert areas starting on Wednesday. Okay, here's the SSEC map. And we can see this low pressure right here. And if this moves far enough north, it'll catch the jet stream, and bingo, we get some rain. But of course, we've got these sociopath weather controllers that are manipulating our weather, and so we're not getting any rain. And if we look at the MODIS Today map for today, we can see a lot of the Southern California areas whited out. We can't see what was going on. But right here in the desert areas between Las Vegas, which is right in this area, there's a lot of chemtrail spraying. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a grid pattern right out here. Okay, now last we have an article only in California. This is from zerohedge.com, a financial website, which is quite an interesting website. A lot of good articles and insight into financial matters and financial warning signs that are being ignored by the media. This here talks about the Governor Jerry Brown signs bill to regulate cow flatulence. This has to do with methane emissions in California and puts the burden on the dairies and the agricultural industry in the state of California. This is what our legislators are wasting their time, spending their time doing. And these people probably have no idea what's going on over their heads and with the chemtrails and the transmitters, but yet we're signing bills and writing legislation to basically regulate cow flatulence, cow farts. This is what's on the agenda in California. And so we now understand why California is in the predicament that it's in, because we have imbeciles running the state, the grizzly bear state. We have a grizzly bear on our state flag, and we've got a bunch of imbeciles running our state. So I just wanted to showcase this article. It came out on September 20th. You can look this up. Just search Zero Hedge, cow flatulence, and Jerry Brown, and you'll get this article. It's up at the very top. A very interesting article because methane. They are very concerned about methane, yet they're completely ignoring what we're featuring on these maps every day. Okay, these people in California have no clue what's going on. The manipulation of our jet stream, the chemtrails, the timing of the chemtrails, and everything else. They have completely missed the boat. They're out to lunch, these people. So I'm not going to rant anymore about it. I'm tired of ranting. But anyway, this is it. So we'll just leave it right here, and we'll do another update tomorrow.